Hello, everybody. You are the few people who are not on siesta, as it seems. Because if I look up here, everything's very empty. So thank you for coming here and not doing your siesta. I would like to do a quick test. Those who can understand me, please raise your hand. Good, good. I once was in Vietnam and at a conference and did a speech, and I asked this question somewhere in the middle, and 2 people out of, I don't know, 200 raised their arms. So I'm thankful you are able to understand me. So, why am I here? My guess is I'm here because I'm very old. I don't look it. Okay, still fresh skin and everything. But I'm overall about 20 years in the hacker scene. 20 years is a long time, which not only impairs my eyes and I can't see that well anymore, but I think the organizers hope that I have visions of the future, some things which might help you, and which he hopes I might communicate to you. I got 1 hour for this keynote to talk to you. That's something which doesn't work. A keynote is there to inspire, tell you a vision, maybe call you to action. But if this takes longer than 20 minutes, then you talk an idea to death, and then it's gone. So, I'm a hacker. What do hackers do? They make their own rules, they change the rules, and change the game. And that's what I will be doing. So, what we will do here is something like not the presentation you have ever seen. I will do a short introduction, and then we already go for the questions. So, we start with questions you might have for me. And that will be the only time during what I will do where you'll be able to ask me any question you want to do. Be with me. This actually might have a concept. So, who am I? Oh, who knows my name or has heard my name before or used my tools or knows the Hacker's Choice? Hands up. OK, this is maybe 20%. OK, short introduction. My name is Marc Heuse, or the hacker pseudonym Van Hauser. Been around for 20 years. The author of several tools like Hydra for network login hacking, AMAP for application fingerprinting, wrote war dialers, did a lot of security research on IPv6, so the next internet protocol. Yeah, you might say, OK, this is a hacker, and he's the founder of one of the oldest hacker groups out there, while he's on stage and not in jail. Yeah? Valid question. The first thing is, I don't do anything illegal. In our hacker group, we don't do anything illegal. We are more for, let's say, alternative research. For us, it's important to find vulnerabilities in systems, in software, in code, doesn't matter. We publish it. We publish tools which help to attack and show there are issues. And that's all we do. So sharing information. Of course, our tools and what we teach is being misused by the bad guys. Bad guys like CIA, bad guys like Spanish Secret Service, which I also know use our tools. Yeah? So the bad guys are using them. But also the good guys, and that's what's important. Yeah? The good guys like administrators checking that their systems are secure. Yeah? Penetration testers to check for their clients that things are secure and hopefully nobody can hack in. Yeah? So this is basically what we do. And that's why I hope I'm here. So, the talk title is How to Become a Successful Hacker. And this is really what I want to show you in the next 20 minutes. This is what my experience had taught me, and I do lots of workshops, lots of trainings for people who are security clueless, to those who are really eager and already know a lot of stuff, so training security experts. And there are certain characteristics which are important if you want to be successful. And that's something I want to show you and teach you. Before I do that, we come to the question part, because, as I said, that's the only part where you will be able to ask questions. Now is the time, because I figured out at some point you might ask questions, and if I leave that out completely, it might also be bad. So if you have any kind of questions for me, ask them now. Might be none, that's okay too. If someone has a question, please raise your hand. We have a microphone. Microphone, please. Over there, please. Thank you for a question. Well, I haven't heard it, but let's say I'm positive. Thank you.
Hello. You've said why you are here, but my question is, what is your motivation to be here?
My motivation to be here? Oh, interesting question. Actually, it's too manifold. Let's put it like that. The organizers here also did another event, I forgot the name, the party events. And there was one last year in Berlin where they invited me for a speech. So there was already the contact. I like Madrid, I like Spain. Not for the food, I'm vegetarian, which is Spain is a horrible place to be as a vegetarian. But I like the culture that you go to for dinner very late. The food is usually good if it's vegetarian. The climate is great. People talk a lot. Where I come from, people are more for themselves. So interacting with others is like, I don't know this person, oh, let's go here. So the lifestyle, I like it. And what I especially like for this event is that's for, I would say, interested people. Maybe clueless, but interested. So people you can still form and motivate and maybe get to a right direction. So that's why I'm here.
Thank you.
Another question over there? In the blue shirt, and then we have another one in the gray shirt over there.
Hi. I have a question that whenever you conduct any seminar, just like this one, that how can you become a successful hacker? So there are so many people attending the same seminar. So what are the factors that can decide that one can overwhelm the ability of other one? Because you are delivering the same thing to everyone.
Okay. When I do trainings, it's not this. When I do training, it's like how to do penetration testing on IPv6. It's like how to do basic reverse engineering. It's about how to perform internet penetration testing, how to do secure coding. That's what I usually teach. Yeah? Here for the keynote, it's something very different. This is not a seminar or workshop. This is a keynote presentation which should motivate you to show you, okay, this is something I could do. And it will be on an abstract layer the same for everyone, of course, because everyone here hears the same and sees the same. But what they make out of it, that's the difference.
Hello, thank you very much for being here. When you are a very good programmer, very good developer, how do you know when you jump from being a simple developer to being a hacker?
Oh.
Something about the skills, something about passion?
No, for me it was always the opposite. I was a hacker, and at some point, if you're not a script kiddie, it's something like you are here, and you want to achieve that, but you can't find the software to get there. Yeah? And then you realize, okay, I have to do that myself. Fuck, how do I do that? Fuck, I have to learn programming. Yeah? And then you have to start, okay, so how do I program? And I'm self-teach programmer. Yeah? I'm not the best programmer. If you look at my code, you will agree it's not the best code. Yeah? But I'm a hacker, not a developer. So sorry for that.
No, it's okay. So, but somebody told you you were a hacker, or you consider a hacker by yourself?
Hacker is a very wide definition. Yeah? A hacker can be someone who breaks into systems and steals data. Yeah? It can be someone who writes assembler on a very esoteric machine, just to make things work. Hacker is a very open open definition. For me, hacker is trying to understand something which is abstruse, so you don't really know what it is. You try to understand it and then make something new with that. That is, for me, what hacking is. So when Joanna said, yeah, everybody who does a little bit of Python coding calls himself a hacker, true. And it's also something I understand. Because if you make something new, yeah, you already use something in different ways than expected, you're already a hacker.
Thanks.
So, any more questions? Okay, more people coming back for their lunch and siesta. Wonderful. If there are no more questions, let's start how to become a successful hacker. The problem, you might call it a problem, but you might also call it an opportunity. IT is changing every year. In some areas fast, in some areas slow. If you look, for example, Windows operating systems, moving very slowly. Yeah? Then you have new developments like cloud. Wow, there it is. Or virtualization. Wow, everybody wants virtualization now. It's just been there yesterday. So you have parts which grow slowly and others which grow very fast. Yeah? But overall, if at some point you learned about security or hacking, and let's say you go on a 10-year vacation, you come back, things have changed dramatically. So in other areas where you can just be a mechanic and, well, cars develop too, of course, but much slower. It's not a big problem. In IT, if you don't adapt to the change, you are outdated. And with hacking and security, it's even worse. For most people in IT, they operate things. We in security and hacking, so if offensive, defensive, we have to understand it, which is much more difficult to understand something and just to click something. So where I come from, 20 years ago, no internet. Maybe there was already internet, but no way to reach the internet for me. I was still young. So back then, we had mailboxes where we dialed in with modems from our computers. If you wanted to learn something, there were text files, which were usually outdated and wrong, or both. There were already people grouping together because someone got a bit of information, another person got a bit of information, and combining that, wow, that really made sense. Yeah? So people were trying to group together via mailboxes, but also VMBs, voice mailbox systems, which you could easily hack with pins. You would have a group code then, and then you could talk to each other via the VMBs, for example. And you would have local meetings, like let's meet in Frankfurt, London, Paris, wherever, meet up and talk about stuff and get connected. So very, very basic there. Later, when we got internet, we had mailing lists, like when Bugtrack was created. To exchange information about vulnerabilities made it much easier. We had electronic magazines like Frack. We still have Frack today, but not with the same status and the same information like it had 10 years ago. There were more and more groups, and there were more national meetings. So people actually traveling somewhere, like the CCC Congress in Germany, or DEF CON in the US. Where people traveled to mingle and exchange information, because now there were more people. In today's times, if you want to get to know something about security or hacking, it's everywhere. You can buy a book, you can read a blog, you can download virtual machines which have lots of vulnerability enabled to teach you how to hack something. You can come to this conference. Can you imagine this kind of conference being in existence 10 years ago? No, there was no space for that, yes. There was no opportunity for this, that it would be even nearly successful. Today, you can go to the university, study computer science, and there will be an ethical hacking class or something like that, where you learn how to write buffer overflow exploits, for example. You can go to a security conference, pay for trainings. Today, learning about security and hacking is absolutely easy if you want to learn it. So when you look back 20 years where I started, it was very hard to find information, and that the information was actually correct. That was really lucky if that was the case. And today, you might say you have it easy. Much easier than we did in our younger days. Yeah, you know, I'm so old. No, actually, in my opinion, it's harder for you. There is much more information available now than in the older years. Much, much more, like books, training classes, etc., this conference. Also, the number of people is increasing. Because it's so much easier to get a foothold in the field and start learning, like a class in university. Yeah? Oh, buying a book in the next bookstore. Yeah? Oh, it's about hacking, cool. Huh? And learn about stuff. Downloading virtual machine. Yeah? So it's easier for people to get in there. Also, companies need more security people, so they hire people and train them if they don't have already the knowledge. Yeah? I think there are some companies here like, don't know, Deloitte, Accenture or something, where they hire people and also train them, which in my experience don't really work, but that's a different topic. But the big driver is the complexity in technology. And that complexity is much higher and much more than anything else, which has a big, big impact. When I started hacking, yeah, learn stuff, etc., I did, and also I worked at KPMG, for example, at Deutsche Bank, so installed firewalls, did forensics, so I was really doing everything. I was doing Windows security, Unix security, forensics, so several forensics assignments I had, penetration testing, source code audits, database security, yeah, I did it all, no problem, yeah? I could cover that. Today, with that complexity, it's impossible. Today, you must specialize yourself, highly specialize yourself. Otherwise, your knowledge doesn't help really anything. Yeah? That's why today you have people who do source code audits, but have no clue about, let's say, malware analysis, because it's a completely different field. Yeah? You might do web application pen tests, because that's I can teach it to anyone in 2 days because it's so easy. But let's say how to write an exploit, yeah? Depending on the platform, different, and can be very, very complex and challenging. Yeah? So that you have more than one specialized field, you must already be there for a long time. So today, we have not generalists who know everything very well, but to have their specialized field where they are really, really good, but around that, not that much. And this is because the technology got so complex. This has an impact you see at every security and hacking conference. Yeah? The first is you have anonymity. And I don't mean that in a positive sense, I mean this in a negative sense. Yeah? In older times, you got into a hacking conference and you could talk to anybody, and whatever that guy was doing, yeah, you could understand that person, what he was doing, and could talk with him about that. Today, you talk about to the next person at the conference, and he does, God behold, database security. Oh. Yeah, but maybe that guy likes it or has to do it. Yeah, but let's say I do, I don't know, telephone system security, which is another complex topic. Yeah? VoIP, etc., blah. Completely different topic. There's very little we can communicate about because the topics are so different. If we are both good in our field, so very in-depth, but where's the common ground? So that's where the anonymity comes from. Lots of people in a place with very few things to share. So, and with this anonymity aspect, because the group gets so large, because there's so many more security people, but very little common ground, what has happened in the scene is that everyone is kind of a lone wolf. Yeah? But wolves usually hunt in packs. Only then they are effective. But we are not. Yeah? So this is what I see the big problem we have. And that's something I also want to change here with you. I tried to find a hopeful, most boring picture, which shows what my feeling is when I look into the hacker and security scene. Every one of you is one little pebble here, yeah? Lying there, would like to talk with other people, to connect to other people, but not really knowing anybody else who shares the same interest on the specialization. Well, it gets a bit better because there are now conferences who have very specific topics. For example, my next conference where I will flying to tomorrow, it's just about passwords. Cracking password, hacking passwords, hashing algorithms, so very specialized. Another very good conference is, for example, Recon in Montreal in June. It's just about reverse engineering. And there is also a few conferences about malware analysis. So there are ways where this is kind of already improving, but it's still, most security conferences are general security hacking. Lots of anonymity, lots of specialized people, and everybody is a lone wolf. Yeah, this doesn't make me happy. As a hacker, old school hacker, I want people to communicate, to talk to each other. So, what we need in the scene, and the scene is everyone hacking security, offensive, defensive, doesn't matter, is you must be good in your field, and I will show you what you need for that to become good in your field. And the second is visionary project, because that is the common ground where you connect. So, what makes you successful? This is the characteristics I found are important for everyone who got successful in the field. If it's a job for you, oh, it's a job opportunity, they pay a lot of money, it's job security for life basically in that field, you will not get good. You need fun and passion. Why? Because you will not learn it on the job. You will not learn it in a training class. You will not learn it here. This is only the foothold to get into a topic, but it needs your private time at home to read something, work on something, play with something. So investing your private time, not your company business time, to get good at something. And you only do that if it's fun for you, if you really like the topic, if sometimes you can't get to sleep because it's like, wow, this problem, I have no idea how to solve it, but maybe this, and you can't sleep. This is what you need if you want to become good. And this is actually true about anything. You can only become good in something if you have the fun and the passion. The second thing is you must be able to concentrate. I know many hackers who have talent, they have fun, they have passion for something, but they can't concentrate on one thing. So they do this, but that's also cool. And I want to do this, and this, and this, and they can't finish something. So it's important for you to be able to concentrate on something and really push through there. Maybe also on two topics, but you must have the ability to finish something. Otherwise, that can't work. The third, and now we're coming to something which gets, I think, into the hacker side of things. Because to concentrate something in fun and passion, you could say, I need that for everything I could be. If I want to be a good manager, if I want a good salesman, I need that. The naive rebel. If you are on the offensive side, you're taking something people have developed and tried to make secure. Of course, perfect security is not possible, but you have to find the unperfectness. So where did they go wrong? So you must go into the minds of what they did and think about what could they have done wrong. They made these assumptions, but I will prove them these assumptions are wrong. So it's a similar reason why hackers usually are anti-authority. Because we don't like rules. We don't like if people say us, this system is secure, or you must do that. No, we hate that. We go away from that. We change the rules. And this is what hacking basically is, changing the rules. And this is the mindset, the naive rebel, what I try to communicate here. I hope this somehow comes through, but I'll make a test later. The fourth point is teaching yourself. I already told you, if you try to be a good hacker or a security guy in the corporate environment, in your business time, in your working hours, it doesn't work. So you must be able to teach yourself. At home, also at work, it doesn't matter where. Because someone can only guide you into a topic, but to understand the topic, to be on top of the topic and really learn it to the depth, you must do that yourself. The next one is one I find very important. Talk, share, connect. If you try to learn something just on your own, it's very, very difficult. Ideas often come from talking with others. One of my coolest ideas I had when inventing a new tool or something, I usually had with talking to people. All my famous tools just exist because at that point I talked to people and it was like, yeah, that would be cool. So it's not my own ideas, but let's say a group idea that I then implemented. And it has more characteristics where I'll get into. The sixth one is important for people who are already, let's say, a bit famous or well-known. If you go to hacker conferences with really the elite people, you'll find several people who say, who are you? I don't know you. Asshole. I make actually often fun at conference because knowing someone face-to-face, now, you know someone with his pseudonym or email address, tools or something, but you don't know how the person looked like. So sometimes I just show to people, I know, oh, this is that guy, okay. Hi, I'm Mark. They don't know who I am, and how they treat me, because not knowing who I am, I see immediately if they're an asshole or not. And thankfully, the asshole count is not that high in the scene. That's a good thing, but there are some out there, and please don't become one if you get good. The last one in the list is the most important one, the absolutely most important one for you. Not for everybody, but for you. And actually everybody here. If you don't learn English, you will have no chance becoming good. Why? Because all the important information is exchanged in English. I'm German. I also had to learn English, and it was pretty tough. But the mailing lists, which are important, the conferences, everything is in English. Joanna is from Poland. I'm from Germany. If we want to talk about something, what chance do we have other than English? That's why if you want to become good, you need to be proficient in English. There is no other chance. So besides learning Python and do whatever you want to do for a field, because this is a field which really interests you, you must also learn English. Do a class, doesn't matter. Learn English. Now, let's go one step back. This is what I say someone needs who really wants to become effective and successful in the hacking environment, security environment. Who here, you can just raise your hand, who here thinks that's not me? Anybody here who says that's something which is not me, I couldn't do? Anyone? Good. Kind of surprised, but good. So, visionary projects. What does that mean? If you think about, for example, tools like Medusa, tools like, actually I should have prepared that question better. Okay, let's try to reverse that. You know tools like Metasploit, right? You know tools like Nmap. Who doesn't know Nmap? You three don't? You do not? Okay. Then you're maybe not that deep into security. Nessus. These are tools which were not developed by one person, but by many people, and are still being used today and still supported and developed today. These are projects which really help the community and everyone in the community. So these are successful projects. There are other projects which are very hard to name because you forget them. People started something, to program something, and there was no interest, no other joined in. The programmer had different interests at some point, and it's a dead project. There are thousands thousands of them, dead projects. These are not good projects because they were a waste of time. So, what is a visionary project? It starts with the question why. I told in the beginning that I see projects as one of the main ways to get people together. You don't get together if you say, let's make a tool which does X. Okay, no, not really, I have better things to do. If you say, I have a vision that there should be something that enables us all to check vulnerabilities on a system before hackers can find them, or which reliably can prove that a vulnerability exists so we don't have to hassle with development or the administration, so they finally deploy the patches and stuff. Yeah? So if you connect on values, on a goal, on a vision, this is something which attracts people. Yeah? Let's take WikiLeaks, for example. If you say, let's do a project where people can upload any data to make them available to anyone anonymously, how does this sound? I don't know. Yeah, if someone does it, it's okay, I guess. If you say, hey, corporations, big corporations, multinational corporations, and governments are not accountable, they don't feel accountable what they do, and we need an oversight to their misdoings, to show when they're doing bad, to get them in line and do actually work for the people and not sometimes against them. How do we do to make them accountable and to put them to court or show the public that they're doing wrong? How do we do that? We create a website where anybody can whistleblow data anonymously without being traced back to them. And we make it public to everyone so it can't be taken down, and make it available to reporters to inform everybody about what the problem is. Wouldn't that be a cool idea to make the world better? Hey, yeah, I want to work on that one. Yeah? So that's the difference, though. That's why the why is so important. The why is I see a problem, and I want to make this problem go away, and this is my idea for that. And if you communicate that, you will find followers. This must be the basis of every project you want to start. Then comes the second question, the how. Yeah? With the example of WikiLeaks, so to have some control or feedback on how governments behave, what big corporations do wrong. How do we do it? Okay, we need a website where people can upload anonymously via Tor. And we use this technology, and this is how we distribute servers so they can't be taken down easily, etc. This is the how. Then it gets technical. The what is then the very specific. Okay, we need this, we need that. This is how you come together. But it starts with the why. What's the overall goal? This is how you get the people in the boat. There's a very nice saying by Saint-Exupéry on how to build a boat, but I'm not able to do that in the English language, so sorry on that. So, there are some characteristics which makes projects successful. If you have a vision you can share and people can connect to. The first one is you shouldn't be alone. Usually, at some point, someone quits out of the project, and it might be you. Might be you have an accident. Might be you get a job offer which is very well paid, very interesting, and you have to work for it 100% of the time. You don't have time for that project anymore. Could be you get pregnant, your wife gets pregnant, someone gets pregnant. There's a baby, it gets a higher priority in your life, so you do different stuff. So being alone is a big risk for a project. So there should more than one person be a founder of the project and big supporter of the project. Otherwise, it dies. The second is passion. Again, if you don't have passion for the project, you infect people with passion. If you don't have passion, you don't infect others. The other important part is the ego. Leave the ego out of it. It can still work, like WikiLeaks. The founder of WikiLeaks has a very, very, very big ego, which makes it very difficult to actually like him. Yeah? But even without him being able to do still a lot, he has enough followers so it's still working. Yeah? It can work with ego, it's better without. Yeah? So leave the ego away, join the passion. Always communicate the vision, because that's what drives people, that's what motivates people. Yes, I have the same goal, I have the same value, that's good, that's where I want to go. And finally, make it easy for people to help, to submit something to a project, to join the project, to submit a patch. For example, I program on Hydra, so parallelized network login hacker. I often get submissions by people who are not very good coders. Sometimes the code sucks. It sucks so much I can't use the code. Now, I could say, do it better, go home. I can't use that shit. That's not very motivational. I rather say, oh, thank you a lot. I changed some of the things in the code to make it better so it works, has less bugs, etc. Take a look what I changed. And if you submit again, please look what I changed and do that for the next code as well. It's lots of work for me, but it helps that that person learns something and maybe submits something in the future. Yeah? So make it easy for people to join and not kick them out just because they make your life hard when they're trying to do something good. So that's what, in my opinion, makes a project successful. We're now coming to a very special part. How should I start this? Should I? No, it should work. OK, I don't need to make any changes. Don't run away. Joke. OK. I told you there are some things which is very, very important to become a successful hacker. The last item was learn English. Yes, really, really important. The one before that was share and connect. I can't tell you how often in my life it helped me a lot that I knew someone who did something. Just because I knew, oh, that guy, he worked in that area. I can phone him, email him, and he could help me out, and the other way around. And because of all the anonymity we have, it's even more important that we get to know people. So what we will do now is an exercise to find people, which I think you will never seen before at a hacker conference and never see again in the future in a hacker conference, but is essential. So I will explain how it works. It's very easy. And then for the rest of the time until Marion's talk, who is then up next, you do the exercise. And I highly recommend later continue the exercise, continue the exercise, continue the exercise until you die. No joke. This is what really makes you successful. So, after I explained everything, you stand up or keep sitting if you have enough people sitting around you. Should be minimum of 3-4 people, maximum 7 people. 7 is already a little bit too much, but if you have 7 and another people joins, you split up into 4 groups again. So 3 to 5 is optimal, 4-5 is optimal. Yeah? But it works even I did it with 10 and 12 people and it still worked. Yeah? But important is to find each other, very important, people you don't know. Obviously, how would you get to know people if you're just being around people you already know? Doesn't work. So you make circles with people you don't know, 3 to 7. And then everybody in the group, after another, presents himself with the following questions. My name is, I live in that city, I work in this area and I have proficiency in this and this and this. and I'm interested to learn X and maybe Y, and I'm also a bit curious about Z. It's okay to ask questions about that, to clarify things, or because you're already maybe interested. So, oh, you do this? Wow, it's totally interesting to me. After everyone in the round has presented himself, saying, hey, that's me, you have about 5 minutes, 6, 7 minutes to connect. So talk one-on-one, 3 together, doesn't matter. Maybe there's nobody in the group where you say, oh, these guys are all boring. Don't worry, it's not them, it's you. Everybody can be interesting, and you can learn from anybody. If appropriate, exchange contact information, phone number, email. And I can tell you, this exercise has enabled already a lot for people. So, if you're a hacker, and hacker means trying out new things, trying to change something, getting to know other people, this is for you. So, now, form, better is if everybody stand up, please. Makes it easier if you already start moving. So everybody stand up, please. And now, maybe nearby, if you know nobody sitting around you, walk a bit. If you oh, this guy, he has a hacker shirt. Maybe he's a hacker. I go there first. And start. Form a group, circle, 3 to 7 people, and then someone starts. Have fun.